Armstrong Mark II channel with the Murcielago. I wanted to give you all an update on where we are with it because there's not been a video on the main channel for quite a while on it for some reasons which we're about to explain in this video. But to start off, here's the Murcielago. If you're new to the channel, we've been rebuilding this. I bought it for £100,000, yes, £100,000. But I think we can revive this. It needs, of course, the engine rebuilding, which we'll get onto. But in one of the previous videos, we've put on the LP640 rear bumper and, if you come round, LP640 front bumper, and I've changed my mind with them. The 640 ones, they don't fit 100%, and this is an expensive car. It cost me 100 grand, yes, without an engine and all the other stuff. It's a little expensive, but I want it to be almost immaculate. Well, I want it to be immaculate when it's done, and something isn't quite sitting right with these LP640 bumpers. I do like the centre exhaust like that. It does look really nice. And then the pre-LP model, Matt will put a picture on the screen now with the two exhausts at the back. I prefer that, but I don't know. I think we're going to go for the clean look. But let me know what you think in the comment section. We'll get this up, switch these bumpers over, and we'll see if we can make a final decision. And then we'll get on to why we haven't really made much progress on the Murcielago over Christmas. Let's take the bumper off. It's really not that bad, to be fair. There's a few bolts holding in the backs there, and then a few bolts on the side. We'll get this thing off, change it for that one. Let's get to it. See if we can do this without taking the wheel off. Come under here. Have you seen the width of that? These are 335 30 18. That is one hell of a tyre. Anything on this car, you just know it's expensive, even though it just doesn't look it. So you break anything, you think, oh, it's all right, it's cheap, but it's just really not. I guess like back in 2002, stuff like this would look amazing, but it's just a plastic grill, isn't it? Hey, and that's what the Murcielago looks like without a bumper on. There's not much to it. It's basically a kit car. A lot of steel and some questionable welding as well. Just got to transfer this over onto that, and we'll see what it looks like. Right, the original bumper is on. I just think, I'm definitely 100% sure I'm going to keep the original bumper. I like it. There may be some people that disagree, but let me know. But I think original is probably better, even though the fitment on the original is probably slightly better than the aftermarket one. But I think that's just the way Italian cars are of this era. Let's see if we can get this on fitting fantabidosi. Yeah, that I'm converted. Like when this is all green and this bit is black, like painted, that's gonna look proper. I do think we need some red tint on here to cover up the lollipops type of style. Let's move on to the front bumper. To get the front bumper off, same sort of way as the rear bumper. There's like two weird bolts that way and a couple of bolts in the wing. Let's blast it. There's actually no bolts in the side. It just slides into some things, and then there's just here. I don't know why I'm acting surprised, because I put it on. Murcielago Master Tech. I know where the bolts are to remove the front bumper, and within 6 ugga duggers, this bumper should come out. I'm right. I might need help. Yeah. We're off. Back on with the original bumper. So we've got a predicament. I took this headlight washer pumper off, and what this does, it sort of shoots up like that and then sprays the headlights. This side, I no longer have one. I remember test fitting it on the bumper. I've lost it. I can't find it. I've just looked on eBay. It's $104 for one, and I'm just going to check how much it is from Lamborghini. £125 each. That is extortionate, and that's £125 loss. Brilliant. I don't think this is going to fit right, because I remember I had to adjust the bonnet to the old bumper to fit right. So let's see. Yeah, there's like 0 panel gap there. Yeah, there's meant to be a panel gap, but there isn't. So it just needs a tiny bit of a gap, which actually normally you're trying to make a big gap to go small, and in this case we're trying to make a small gap go big, which is a little bit different. I'm going to lower it down, and then I'm just going to see. Yeah, I just prefer that look. I think original look. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But I think original Murcielago look. Maybe we change the wheels. Maybe we'll upgrade the brakes. But kind of subtle mods. The interior is now looking mental. We've got everything fully restored. Alcantara in here. You guys probably would have seen all this. Lamborghini in the headrest thing as well. But the interior is actually looking quite nice. It's the one thing we've made half decent progress on. There's still a few things in here like the ashtray, which we'll get onto, and a few little bits and bobs missing, which again, we'll get onto. So here is the engine that, well, 7 years ago was taken out of the Murcielago, and someone attempted to rebuild it and it didn't work, and we've slowly been trying to work out what's wrong, and we're getting to the point now of where we're rebuilding it up. So here's the sump, and it's a dry sump, so it's not very deep. There's not a lot of oil which sits in here. It will sit like in a canister off the car. We've ordered a pickup pipe, £209, and it literally looks like anyone could have made that, I would have thought. Like, it doesn't look that special, dare I say, but I don't think it looks that bad. So that sits in the sump like that, and then on the front here, everything is driven by a train, but the one thing that we're missing is the oil pump, and we can't assemble the whole engine without that oil pump. Here's the full oil pump for it, and to be honest, there's not actually much to it, but we found that somebody's taken this all apart, and when we got it, it was like really stiff to turn over, so we stripped it apart to find out why it was stiff. There was like little bits of like debris between the cogs that spin, so we removed that, spun a bit better, but then we also found that here on these little keys that you put in the shafts here, so you put the key on the shaft there, and then one of the gears would slide over it, and that's what makes the whole thing spin. On this section here, the key that was in it was this little one there, not the right one, which didn't fill us with much confidence. It probably would still work, to be honest. Like if you had the shaft on it, it does still work. But on a vital piece of the engine, the oil pump, you don't really want to be taking any chances. But when we seen that, it got us a little worried about everything else that they've rebuilt in here. Because to be honest, there isn't much to this oil pump. When you look at it, you've got two pieces. The gears would go in that side. The gears would also go in this side as well. And then you have a relief valve which sits here, a piston which goes in, a spring, and then the cap which sits on top of all that, and then a circlip which would hold it all in. And we assumed that would be it. But the thing is, we don't have any exploded diagrams of what's meant to be in this oil pump. Neither do Lamborghini, because if you want to go to Lamborghini and buy an oil pump or parts for an oil pump, they'll just sell you this whole thing complete. So nobody has an exploded diagram, so we can't be 100% sure what is supposed to go in here and what isn't. So in the end, we've decided to order a full oil pump, which from Lamborghini costs around £3,000. And at first I had this email on the screen now, which said it will be here in December the 11th. Then I got this email, which then said it will be here January the 11th. And then just recently, I've had this email, which said it won't be here till February now. And I don't want to wait till February to put this engine all together and in the car. So we've got a plan B. And I think plan B is we're going to rebuild that oil pump. But there's a way we should be able to check it before it goes in the car to see if we've got any oil pressure. Apart from that, there's more. Throttle bodies. Now, when I bought the car, there was loads of parts missing because it sat for 7 years with just stuff kicking around everywhere in boxes. And the idea was I'd be buying the car on the basis that everything was there. Of course, everything wasn't there. Oh, I've just noticed that this is actually like, I've just found a problem, which is going to be expensive. So it was meant to be a complete car when I bought this car, and it only came with one throttle body. Obviously, I messaged the people that bought it off to see if they've got any more throttle bodies, if they found them, because from Lamborghini, these are extortionate. I'm not even sure you can buy them from Lamborghini anymore. A couple of grand when you could buy them each, and there's 4 of these on. I've had to buy 2 here, but we'll get onto that. This is the one that I came with, and I thought it does feel a bit stiff. Like that butterfly flap is supposed... Oh, that does go back there. But look, it just gets stuck. It's not meant to do that. It's supposed to be like that. And now I've just noticed this cap has came off, and look at the state of the inside. Oh my days. Like, has that got water in it or something? Why has it been opened? Wow. And I bought these from Germany. Some came from Latvia and all sorts. I managed to get one for like 800 quid, one for like £1,000, another one's still coming. But basically I've spent £2,500 on 3 throttle bodies, and now it looks like I might have to buy another one. But these are the same out of the Lamborghini Gallardo, the 5 litre one. These are the same part number. That's why I was able to buy them. If you try and find a Murcielago one, you can't. But what on earth has happened to this one? It looks like it's been sat in water or something. Well, odds on that working. It's not going to work, is it? That is just not going to work. Cheers, guys. Next thing, we have another update. Inside here is, I think they call it the motherboard or the circuit board for the dashboard. This is what controls all of the clocks. Well, it actually works all the clocks, all the LEDs in there. And we found out that this didn't work when we bought the car because somebody jumped the car the other way around. So put the red to black and the black to red, which hopefully only fried this part of the car. We have seen a video of the car running, and since then we've found that a load of these resistors were burnt out, so we've changed them. And we tried it and it didn't work. So it's been back to the place that originally looked at it, Liam's mum, shout out. And they've looked at it even further and changed a few modules which they think were broken. And we now can see whether this is actually going to work. And if this don't work, this is around £2,000 to £3,000 from Lamborghini. And I don't even know if you could buy it because all the mileage has got to be corrected to the clocks and everything like that. It's just going to be a whole another headache. But we're going to find out whether that works on the main channel video. There was an option to go like with digital clocks, but I just think I want to keep it kind of like original when OEM looking. And when you're looking at the dashboard and you're seeing digital clocks rather than like the analog style, I just don't think it's going to be right. Other than that, got a lot of wiring. There's bound to be so many more issues that we find with the Murcielago when we put the engine in and begin to start it, because that car definitely had issues with it before the engine came out. But other than that, I think we should be about ready once we get this oil pump rebuilt, which should be soon. The only thing we need is this key here, which my dad has ordered. We're going to carry on with the Murcielago in the next video on the main channel. Remember, if you want to be the first to turn the key to start the Murcielago to see if this engine works, you can buy a Save the Manual t-shirt, or this time, hoodies. We've got them in hoodies because we know it's getting cold outside. If you grab one of these, we're going to be picking someone random who buys one of these to come and do the first turn of the key. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll catch you on the main channel.
Could be your alpha, could be your Romeo. Tell them boys back up, I ain't going nowhere. I'ma throw that back up, put it on your story so all your friends see it, everyone can see it. And we going and